Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic, and today we're back with another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the C430 Rafale by BlueMesh. And I'm going to be showing the exterior. The inside, we're going to do a quick takeoff, fly around for a bit, and I am going to get a little bit into the history of this aircraft. Look at this. Very high quality. You can find this on the marketplace inside the actual game and sim market. Pay attention to the airplane. Look at the blades. I really enjoy taking a good look at the quality of the model. And this aircraft, it was built by Caudron Renault. It was designed for the training of pilots who were going to fly racing planes like the C362. And this is a very old plane, very historic. And the Caudron company, it was founded in 1909, so very old. And it produced airplanes for the military in both world wars. And in 1933, Renault acquired Caudron. After that, they started focusing on sportier aircrafts, setting several records in the 1930s. And this is one of these sportier aircrafts. It was used to train pilots. One of the most known pilots was Helene Bouchet. As you can see her name right here. This was done in her memory. And she was a very well-known French pilot that set several women's world records. She died on November 30, 1934, during an approach with this C430 f-amvb. This is what I mentioned, keep an eye on the model. The plane stalled, rolled, and then hit the trees. She was rescued, but she died on the way to the hospital. And if you Google her, so you can have a look at a picture, you're gonna see someone very, very similar to her. So BlueMesh really paid attention to detail. The remaining C430, only 2 C430 were built, and the remaining one is in a museum. Helene Bouchet was flying on Guyancourt Aerodrome. Sorry if I butcher any French names. So she was flying over Guyancourt Aerodrome when she died. I checked, and the Guyancourt Aerodrome was decommissioned in 1989. And we are here at Lima Foxtrot Papa Zulu, just north of Guyancourt, and to the south of us should be the area where the Guyancourt Aerodrome was. So I'm gonna guess it was somewhere around here. I might be completely mistaken, but I was taking a look at the aerial photographies of the airfield back when it was in use, and comparing to the area on Google Maps, it kind of reminds me of this area. Very easy to find since it's close to this airport. Now back to the inside. I gotta say I'm very happy with the quality of this. The instruments, and you do pilot from back here. I'm not sure about the decision why we're back here and not up front. I believe if we were up front, it would be slightly easier to land. I think this restricts our view a little bit, but it's completely fine. You get used to it. As you can see, it is animated. We do have flaps. It's right here. This is the trim. Mixture, throttle. And right here we have the fuel valve, the magnetos. This is your fuel. So we do have the fuel there. Let me show you guys. Let's make this slightly smaller. Fuel, as you can see, fuel's there. Let's go back to 50, making this lighter. Tachometer, altimeter. This is the temperature for your oil. Variometer, compass. This is just a clock. Your speed, and it's very, very straightforward once you kind of get the hang of this. Taxiing, you have two options. You can use the external camera, which is valid. But look at this. It's a gorgeous aircraft. I really, really like this. And you do have a few liveries as options. Yeah, for taxiing, you can either do that or you can zigzag, which is what I do. And when you're taxiing, you can keep this open, the canopy. So to close this, you can click on this. And then there's a lock, this canopy lock, unlock. It's not opening, and then unlock, just opened it. Now let's close this again. And you can click in the back as well. Let's start this and let's pull the contact. And let's start her. We do have a parking brake, but I'm not sure where it is on the inside of this, so it works, the button for the parking brake, but I'm not too sure where it is. So let's taxi out of here. It does not have a radio, in case you're looking for a radio. No radio. So yeah, this is what I meant. You can zigzag, so you can kind of keep an eye on where you're going. You can also press space, so you can kind of lift yourself up a bit, just a bit. Or you can always use the exterior view, always valid. Very nimble, very nimble. And it is a pretty fast aircraft for its time. Let's keep an eye. Okay, so where is our turn? Should be coming up. Oh yeah, it's right there. Oh yeah, I see it. There's our runway. Rolling into the runway. Now we can close the canopy and we can lock it. We are looking good. Let's move back. Let's give it one notch of flaps. About 50% throttle. And you do want to keep an eye on the rudder. It does have a tendency to move to the left, so you do have to apply quite a little bit of rudder. And now let's go full throttle. We got some speed. And rotate. A beautiful airplane. It's got fixed landing gears, as you probably saw. Flaps up. It's very fun for acrobatics as well. But if you're gonna do anything, make sure you have enough altitude and enough speed. It's kinda easy to stall, and if you do, you really want all of the altitude you can have, just so you can have a chance at recovering. It is very easy to hand fly this. It does not have any autopilot. But having a look on the outside, you can see you have a pretty awesome view. Like, no restrictions on the view whatsoever. But when you're coming in to land, as you can see, we have this massive nose. It gets a little bit on the way, but you get used to it. We do have 2 fuel tanks. Let's open up the fuel here, and as you can see we have a left main and right main, which kind of confuses me a bit. On the manual, this airplane does come with a manual. Let's move to the outside just so I can kind of show what I mean. On the manual, there's like this black strip, and it shows like a fuel tank on each side, and then it shows a fuel tank up front as well. I don't know if maybe we have like one here and one there, or if it means like one in between the seats and one in front. I'm not too sure. Speaking of that, if you move to the camera, pilot, co-pilot, you can fly from here, but you're not going to have any instruments whatsoever. Space Air Passion trying to trim this, and let's open the VFR map. Nowadays, let's just imagine I just got my phone out, and let's have a look where we're going. Okay, so we just want to go back a scooch, just a bit. I was flying, I kind of lost track of the compass. And since I'm not that familiar with the area, just flying by what we are seeing below isn't really gonna help me that much. There we go, there we have it. So I did mention you can do some acrobatics here, but you want altitude and speed. We do have both, kinda. So, as you can see, very capable, very fun. You can fly inverted as well. Let's stabilize ourselves like this. I don't have VR, but I'm gonna assume this is really fun in VR. And then let's pull back the throttle all the way back, and let's drop just for a bit so we can show what we can do here. I believe that's the airport where we took off from. So we can turn a little bit further. Just a little bit. Let's open up our phone, check the map again. Yeah, that was indeed the airfield we took off from. And I believe we are somewhere around the area where the old airfield used to be. I kind of wish we had a model for the old airfield for this flight simulator. I checked flightsim.to, we do not have anything, sadly. And this is a nice area to fly around in. Even though we don't have any mountains, I think it's safer since, at least for me, if I'm flying this, I'm gonna do some acrobatics, at least for me. This is an airplane that lands kinda fast, so you do have to plan your landing pretty well. And I'm not gonna judge you too much if there's any purposing, simply because I feel like this is not the easiest to land. I believe we should get visual of our airport soon. We are coming back so we can land there. And is that it? That's the question. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's to my right somewhere. Is that it? Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, this is definitely it. I do remember this road and then this massive... I'm gonna guess it's a farm. So let's move back our throttle. And this is an acrobatic airplane, so we can pretty much do a steep approach if we want to. And it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Look at the outside of this flying. Something very interesting is this should have a double pitch, and apparently on this model it does not. And it's a system. There's like from what I understand, there's like a balloon, and once you get rid of all the air inside the balloon, it changes the pitch, and you can only go back to the first pitch after you land, after you turn off your engine. Then you can, I believe you can re-inflate the balloon based on the pressure. Yeah, I do believe that's it. If I remember correctly, the pressure as it changes with your speed, it changes the pitch of the blade as the balloon de-inflates. Very clever, I must say. Let's go flaps 1. And there we have our runway. Full flaps. And we are coming in kind of fast. I do not want to stall. It's not fun. Very much not fun. Cutting the throttle, trying to maintain. There we go. I'm gonna go right ahead and say that was a good landing. Any landing I can walk away from is a good landing in my book. And we can brake without fear of slamming our nose into the grass. We can taxi a little bit further. And we can open our canopy. There we have it. If you open the canopy while you're flying, you will crash. Ask me how I know. Yes, I did try. It was like my first flight. I was actually flying and I was like, What happens if I open my canopy? Yeah, that was a pretty stupid crash. There we have the taxiway. Nice, that was a pretty smooth, pretty nice flight. As you can see, the rudder is animated. One thing that's really nice and that you can clearly see is the engine right here. You can kind of see it moving, you can see the heat leaving the engine. I gotta say, I'm very happy with this aircraft. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and it also lets me know you guys are enjoying the content. And you can get this aircraft on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace and the Sim Market. Wherever you are, I hope you stay safe, fly safe, bye bye.